Hi everyone, this is Amina for another episode of Wise Wednesdays, and today we're talking about a slightly heavy and philosophical topic. The meaning of death, but it's a good one. We don't like to talk about death. We don't like to face our mortality. It's painful. But the truth is, when we're competing, when we're striving, when we're out there trying to get things done and get ahead, we're subconsciously operating from a fear of death. The way to overcome this and overcome the pain of this fear is to transcend it by connecting our lives to something greater than ourselves. I'd like to pay a tribute to my grandmother. On Friday last week, I decided for the first time in years to wear a beautiful pair of earrings that she had given me. Later that day, my father called me to tell me that she had passed away quickly. I'm scientifically minded, but I believe that this was somehow a way for her to say goodbye to me. And as she was my last living grandparent, it felt to me as though the whole of a generation was saying goodbye to me and sending me a message. The message that this is my generation's time, that our time is short and precious, and that we need to live it fully and as fully as we can. I remembered something that she had told me when I was a teenager, when the Algerian civil war of the 90s was breaking out. She said, "You young ones don't realize that things can change." It was a simple sentence and I didn't quite catch all of its meaning, but it stayed with me. And ultimately what it meant to me, when I was able to have some hindsight on it, was that life changes and things are impermanent. Everything is impermanent. In Buddhism, it's called the law of impermanence. And our egos must learn to accept this, contend with it, and live our lives the best we can knowing this. So how can we do this? Ultimately, birth and death are part of the same thing. They're part of life. And instead of seeing ourselves as the center of life or the universe, let's see the universe or life as the center of everything, and as our lives being part of that greater thing. We are part of a great unfolding in a universe that became conscious of itself. We don't know how, but everything was pre-programmed at the Big Bang for life to emerge within this universe. This is what we're part of. This is what each and every one of us can contribute to in our own unique way. But of course, our time is limited, and that's why we should make the most of it. So a few tips and a reminder, if you've been receiving my emails, then you will have read this before. But a few reminders on how to live our lives as fully as we can, so that the meaning of death is the same as the meaning of life, which is life itself. And the way to do that is to infuse our lives with meaning. So 3 things to do this. Know with absolute certainty what matters to you right now. Number 2, make sure that you live in alignment with those things that matter to you every day. And also make sure that those things that matter to you include contributing and serving others the best way you can. And serving something that's greater than you and your immediate concerns. And finally, acknowledge that you are a human being and that you do have needs. But try to meet these in appropriate and healthy ways that are not at the expense of others or the planet. If this is all too much and you're not sure where to start, but you would still like to try and overcome the grip that fear of death has on you so you can live a more fulfilled life, then you could start with the 4 agreements of Don Miguel Ruiz. And these are: be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make any assumptions. And this is similar to not making judgments. And finally, do your best in every moment. I hope this helps, and if you have any comments or questions, please leave them in the box below the video, and I hope to see you next week. Bye-bye.